Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Earthlings. Hope you're all having a lovely day. This video is all about something that just occurred to me. So this is not fact. This has not been announced by Meghan or anybody else. This is just my imagination of what I'm expecting in the coming weeks. I think there's a good chance that Meghan Markle might make an appearance at the Cannes Film Festival and the Monaco Grand Prix. And I will explain my reasons why in just a moment. Before I do that, I am going to remember to put the link in the description to the Pilates girl. She is called Lilly Sabri. And if you just look into YouTube, 5-minute Pilates, it's fantastic. And it does work. And I'm going to talk a little bit later about people who feel it's okay to have a go at us older ladies for not being perfect, apparently. It really, I hate that. I hate that. So we'll come to that later now. Let's talk about the Grand Prix. Now, this is where my train of thought started, and it all began with the jam. Right, so Meghan sent these 50 jars of jam out. And I was talking to somebody, no names mentioned, about how to make jam. I've never made jam, and I didn't realise how he did it. And this person was explaining it all. They might make a video about this themselves because they are quite the expert. And they were like, how is she getting strawberries? Do you realise how many strawberries it takes for 1 jar of jam, let alone 50 jars of jam? And did she make them in her kitchen? And, you know, what's in the ingredients, etc. I know a lot of people have said what's in the ingredients and it needs American approval of your food standards. Of course, every country will have that. And then this lady that I was talking to said they had lived in California and that the soil in California isn't the best for strawberries. That's not really the thing. I think oranges, isn't it? Oranges they love. And that really Europe, Italy and Spain and France, well, we have a pretty big strawberry trade here, but I think they have the biggest one in France. And that got me thinking, and I've kind of got my head around the name of her, well, I thought I did, Americana Orchard. Well, there's Riviera. Riviera is in the word. Now, the one place in the world that's famous for a Riviera is the French Riviera. And that's where I'm thinking. So I looked up strawberries in France, and apparently the best place, the biggest turnout for strawberries in France is the Dordogne, which is in the southwest of the country, but not like coastal, not Riviera. But while one is down there, one could pop in and do the Monaco Grand Prix. Now, I'm thinking she's got this new PR agent who's called Charlie Gibson. And he is meant to be representing her in Europe. They made a thing to say Europe, not UK. So I'm thinking maybe she's thinking a little bit Marie Antoinette, France. There's a lot of European royalty. Perhaps Prince Albert of Monaco and his lovely wife need to batten down hatches because I think they've got enough problems of their own. They get enough criticism in the public eye. The poor old Grimaldi family, they've been very, very unlucky, as we all know. But then there's, of course, his mother, the late Princess Grace of Monaco. She was American. Perhaps Meghan's thinking, now this is what I think she might have done, because strawberries, knowing her, she'd probably like have strawberries flown in from Paris, but that's not very economically viable. But think about this. What if she has contacted, and there are many, many farmers in France, she might have contacted a struggling strawberry farmer, and she might have said, look, I want you to be my supplier. Because it's going to sound really posh, which it would actually, wouldn't it? Strawberries from the Dordogne, no less. This is all my guesswork. No fact, no basis for this at all. So just bear with me, you know. So she could have done that. She could have contacted a struggling strawberry farmer and said, I want to use your produce for my new jam. I'm the Duchess of Sussex. And that's how she's going to do it. And they will actually manufacture it in France. and there'll be a European distribution, and then blah, blah, blah. And they would, if it gets lit, then they would start shipping everywhere else. I don't think she's actually looking to have the Walmart shelves stocked with it. Well, I hope she hasn't got ambitions, dizzy heights like that, because that would be a lot of jam, and I think there'd be a lot of competition. But she might have thought that. I mean, doesn't Chanel, don't they have like this really famous field somewhere in France? I think it might be in the Champagne region, where they've got jasmine and various other flowers that they make the famous Chanel mix from. So maybe she's thinking along those lines. And if she were to be in the Dordogne, it is not too far to go to Cannes Film Festival, which Princess Diana went to very famously and wore a similar pale blue chiffon dress to that, like Grace Kelly wore, sort of the pale blue chiffon dress. But that would involve not wearing beige. Maybe she'll wear a beige chiffon number. I don't know. So just to reiterate the dates, the Cannes Film Festival begins on May the 14th to the 25th. And then, of course, the 26th, the next day, is the Grand Prix. Now, we went to Cannes years ago. I'm sure I've mentioned it before, 2017. We went on a budget, the four of us. It cost us €3,000. And we did a whirlwind tour. We got the train from here to Madrid, flew from Madrid to Nice, and then we stayed in Cannes. I got a lucky deal. On New Year's Eve, I booked a penthouse, and I got it for €300 for the 3 nights that we stayed. €100 a night. Oh my God. The guy was spitting blood because I booked just 3 nights, and I booked it right smack in the middle of the Cannes Film Festival. So any film director who wanted that penthouse, you know, it was buggered. And he tried to get out of the booking, and I was like, no, I got a deal on booking.com. No, we're keeping that. And we did loads of video YouTube. I'll put a link in the description to that. And then we got a helicopter ride, which was bargain basement as well. But I had to go out selling the last 2 tickets for the helicopter. It was a 6-seater, and there were only 4 of us, and we needed another couple of people to just bulk up. So we did that. And then we went to Monaco for the day. So we did the whole thing, and we walked round the Grand Prix track. So the Grand Prix will be on the... Guys! Do you mind? Every day, you know, I say, I'm going to be doing videoing, and they go, okay, promise. And as soon as I start, oh my God, it all starts. So where was I? Yeah, so the Grand Prix is going to be on the 26th of May. I don't know the dates for this Invictus thing that Harry's going to, but then they're playing the will, she, won't, she will, she won't. She's not going to want to go to St. Paul's Cathedral. Talk about bad memories. Ooh. By the way, the booing movement. Wally charged the tomato throwing movement. And the day that Wally's original channel went down, I woke Graham up and I said, oh my God, Yankee Wally's channel's disappeared. I think they've taken her down. And I went to work. And by the time I got to work, Graham had made a video basically saying, well, technically, if you throw tomatoes, you can be accused of assault, but there's nothing stopping people doing booing. And I do give him credit there that I do believe the boo movement began there. I will put a link in the description to Graham's boo video, which might be why he's on a certain hit list with certain trolls. I don't know, you tell me. So yeah, so I think that this Charlie Gibson, who is meant to represent her in Europe, is like, I don't think they're thinking UK. I think they're thinking France, Italy. I think they're thinking possibly Spain. Oh my God. Oh no, no, guys. We don't need that here in Spain. Although the Duke of Westminster has an enormous property just up the road. Mind you, he doesn't like them, does he? They're not invited to his wedding. So yeah, maybe we're quite safe here in Spain. Also read a very interesting article in the Telegraph. Now, the Telegraph is a bit of a tricky one. You don't have to pay or subscribe, but what you do have to do is sign up, you know, username, another password. Well, I signed up for it, and I'm really glad. It's a very interesting article. It's right up my street. It's all about, what they've done is they've spoken to a whole load of different PR people and said, how would you salvage such a terrible reputation such as Meghan Markle? And I mean, one of them said it would actually be easier to make Prince Andrew super popular than Meghan Markle. That's how bad her reputation is. And they give some very interesting and good advice. So I'll put a link in the description to that if you want to sign up for the You just have to have like a, I don't know, username and stuff. I didn't have to pay for it. So that's quite interesting. Now, coming to, and of course this does involve Meghan Markle, because her and her fan base and her previous PR have kind of dissed, you know, we're middle-aged, racist, fat, ugly, stupid housewives, aren't we? Well, it's not just Meghan Markle and her PR who are like that. I have noticed that there are certain dinosaur, prehistoric men who still, you know, not all men, right? This is a particular and thankfully dying breed. And gentlemen out there, do you ever have certain types of people who criticise you when you get to a certain age and you're putting a bit of weight on? Well, the ones that really get my goat are like, they're really, well, they're nothing to, no oil painting themselves. And then they come out with things like, they'll look at a much younger girl who's maybe got a little bit of puppy fat and they go, I won't shag her. Oh, God, they make me want to vomit, that kind of prehistoric dinosaur. They seriously need to take a good look in the mirror, because it always seems to be that type. You look at them and think, what the hell are you talking about? And that brings me to another point, the Pilates. So we're coming full circle. I have found a lady who's got millions of subscribers and I love her. She is called Glitz and Lasers, and she does Pilates. Now, this lady is weighty. She's a large girl, and I just love her because she makes the most of life, and my God, she does the Pilates. I will put a link in the description. Not that she needs any help from a channel like mine. She's got millions of followers, but I'm sure that everybody would love to see that. I think that's part of Meghan's, a very small part of Meghan's downfall, is her alienation of middle-aged people, like, oh, old people, ugly people, oh, not cool people, get away from me, I don't want you, I only want cool teenagers. And they go on, and all those kind of people, they put a filter over. I've never used a filter, well, you can probably tell, but I mean, they all put filters over, and then when you see what they really look like, you think, oh my God. Anyway, that's just about enough from me for today and my extremely noisy family. Thank you. I'll have to ask Benjamin, because normally he lives in Monaco. That's where he's based. So I'll have to ask him what he thinks if Meghan Markle's going to pop down there. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts, theories, opinions, free speech. And what do you imagine? What's her next move? What's with this Charlie Gibson and the PR in Europe? I think she's a brave girl if she's going to get involved with European aristocracy, because I think most of them are friends with Lady C. And I think most of them have probably got a very good lick of Miss Markle. Thank you very much for listening.